Welcome back to my channel. If you followed me on Instagram, which you should, you know that I went to Turkey a while back, and today I want to share with you my stories that happened in Turkey. For today especially, it's an Istanbul edition. I want to share with you some of the places you definitely should go check out if you're planning your next trip to Istanbul. First thing first though, I want to introduce you my crew. So we have Cho, we have Stella, and Kyle. So here are the 10 places. First one, Galata Tower. So we decided to get up on Galata Tower around sunset time. It was around 7:30 to 8ish, and it was really crowded because everyone trying to capture the sunset of Istanbul. Oh, hi, Luffy. Look at the camera. What are you up to? What are you up to? What are you up to? His name is Bao. So full name is Bao, short for Bao. He's a stray dog. I found him roaming around in our yard, and I gave him some water, and then he just kept following me and wouldn't leave me alone. So we just kept him. Such a good boy. I got carried away. Galata Tower is one of the highest and oldest towers of Istanbul. It was built in 14th century, directly opposite of Constantinople. After the conquest, it served to detect fires in the city. During our shooting, Stella actually dropped her lens cap onto the lower deck of the balcony we were standing on, and it was out of reach of our hand. We panicked a bit. Some local Turkish people were trying to find ideas to help us, and one of the guys used his leg to try to get hold of the cap, but it's still like too far from his leg. This one dude who's actually on the balcony with us, at one point he wanted to jump out of the balcony to get onto the lower deck to get the lens cap for us, and obviously everyone stopped him. It's a ridiculous move. Yeah, the lens cap is not worth the life. Eventually, we found someone who has a selfie stick and used the selfie stick to get the lens into our reach. And they say selfie stick is useless invention for millennials, but it saved life today, so. Next one, Topkapi Palace Museum. I hope I'm not butchering the name. Lucy.
Oh, it's a video.
In the 15th century, it served as one of the major residential and administrative headquarters of the Ottoman Sultans. Now it's a museum open to public. The palace is really complex with hundreds of rooms and chambers, but only the most important ones are accessible to the public these days. You can rent a voice guide at the ticket stand. I believe it's about 20 lira per person. Oh, hey, what are you doing? I'm sorry, I didn't realize he's super curious though. Anyway, so the next one is, alright, this requires some efforts. Solomanium Mosque. second largest mosque in the city, and it's one of the best known places to visit in Istanbul. Females are required to cover our legs and hair upon entrance, but don't bother to bring extra clothing just for the visit because they do offer you dressing items at the entrance for those who are not prepared. For example, for all three of us girls, we had to use their dress items to cover our hair. So the next place is Grand Bazaar. Also, I'm sorry if I'm butchering some of the names. I am not really good at names and how to pronounce them. Excuse me, can you move over please? He's like taking it over. There you go. Grand Bazaar. Grand Bazaar. Grand Bazaar. Grand Bazaar is one of the largest and oldest covered market in the world. It felt like a maze to be inside. Every little alley looks very similar to the next one. It's so easy to get lost with your team. But I do find the stuff that is inside the Grand Bazaar is a little overpriced. So a rule of thumb, the further away the shops are located to the Grand Bazaar, the cheaper the stuff gets. Look who decided to come back. Can you scoot over please? Okay. So next, we're going to talk about Hagia Sophia. We actually landed at Istanbul at night. We live really close to Hagia Sophia. So we're just wandering around and saw a huge line lining up in front of Sophia. We didn't know what's going on, so we came up to these young local people and asked them what's going on. And they told us it's actually the very first time of the year that Sophia is open at night for visitors. And normally during daytime, you would have to pay entrance fee. And because it's open at night, somehow you don't have to pay anything. These local young people asked us to cut the line with us because they were kind of in the middle of the line and the line is huge. And we were like, okay, sure.
Hi.
Okay.
So it turns out they're Istanbul University students and they're actually a couple. The girl is studying international business and the guy is studying architecture. They were really nice. They showed us in and taught us a little history behind the mosque. Being the first attraction that we see upon our landing in Istanbul, it's definitely very mind-blowing. The history behind Hagia Sophia is that when Constantinople was conquered by the Ottoman Empire, which ordered this main church of Orthodox Christianity to be converted into a mosque. That's why nowadays you see traces of both Christianity and Islamic features in the architecture design. And of course, at the Asia side of Istanbul, Karaköy and Üsküdar are two shore areas on the Asia side of Istanbul. They all have a port to themselves and are the main places for tourists to visit. We took a ferry from Eminönü to Karaköy port, then walked around Moda area. That's the area by the beach. We enjoyed a few beers by the beach and of course took a lot of pictures. Sad news, Bao decided to leave. He doesn't like the heat over here. Let's continue without him. So the next place I want to introduce is, the name is difficult, Istiklal Avenue, aka Independence Avenue. It's located in Newtown area. Apparently it's the busiest street in Istanbul, comparable to Fifth Avenue. It has all kinds of bars and restaurants, shops, live music and cinemas and so much more. You can fully immerse yourself in this great energy that is radiated from this street. Next recommendation is Basilica Cistern, aka the underground palace. This cistern is an ancient water reservoir lies underneath the city of Istanbul. I just love seeing the word reservoir. It sounds really bougie. There are 2 Medusa heads at the base of 2 columns, which is kind of spooky. But I am a big girl, so I'm not afraid of anything.
Are you sure about that?
So the visitor lane, although well established,
What if I'm the mom?
established? Oh god. Although well established, it could be really slippery due to how damp and dark this place is. So make sure to put on your anti-slippery shoes. I was wearing flip-flops, so I was really glad I didn't lay on my butt. Also, it drops a few degrees after entering the place, so wear a jacket too. Blue Mosque is a historical mosque in Istanbul. It is known as Blue Mosque because of the blue tiles that is surrounding the interior design. Unfortunately, it was under heavy construction and a very limited space was allowed visitors. It was kind of funny because all the other areas were covered in fake wallpapers that resembles the design. Even the ceilings were fake wallpapers. Did I just say wallpaper? It's wallpaper. So there wasn't much to see over there. Make sure to check your time schedule if you do plan on going to Blue Mosque.